Alright everybody, we are here for the final match, or possibly two matches of the night. I'm here with Moletrap. This is Matt and Steve SC. Again, Steve is out. I think he's trying to buy a Prelude now, possibly in LA, or tomorrow he's going to LA, or something crazy's happening. I don't know, he can talk about his adventures next game. We have ZerO looking like he's going to lose, and Jaedong looking pumped and ready to just tear ZerO apart and rip him a new Nidditz canal. We're going to see, obviously, ZerO with some fantastic play. He had some Queen Templar sniping against Stork, and then he had some epic Infested Terran play against other players, and just very impressive, but he is 50% ZVZ and not very good.
Was that against Stork or Bisu?
Oh, I'm sorry, against Bisu, right. It was not against Stork, it was against Bisu. Alright, so it looks like we're going to have yellow here, which is going to be the next player that they show. ZerO, okay, great. And the map is Holy World.
Yeah, map is Holy World. ZerO is going to be in yellow. Jaedong is going to be in teal up at the top right. Some nicely differentiated colors there. Jaedong fluctuates in and around 80% win rate in ZVZ.
Yeah, like 78 last I checked.
He's I mean, I've said this in a different commentary, but I'll say it again. It's basically it's JVZ. It's a different matchup. It's Jaedong versus Zerg. It seriously is a completely different thing, because in Zerg versus Zerg, you know, if you 9 pool and they 12 pool, if everyone micros well, then the 9 pool loses. That's pretty standard sort of conventional thinking.
Right.
No, not Jaedong.
Nope.
No, Jaedong can have complete build order losses and still come back and micro and make the perfect decisions. And still come back in the game. That's why it's JVZ. It's a completely different matchup for him. Although, you know, he basically has never looked vulnerable at all in this matchup whatsoever. By the way, ZerO getting down to gas first, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool build that I've seen a little bit lately. For some reason I never saw it before, like the last 6 months or so. It's a really cool build. You can get the gas up earlier, and then you're a little bit vulnerable early on because you're lacking a little bit of minerals, just a little bit. But then you've got, from the early gas, you've got extra
speed.
You've got extra gas for speed, or you have enough for a couple extra mutas when you're Spire Pops or something like that. So it can be a really good thing. I just want to mention though, Jaedong looking a little bit vulnerable lately.
Was that? What?
Is it?
Oh,
yeah. See, Jaedong's gonna be put to the test here.
Yeah.
Normally 9 pool with speed, or 10 pool, whatever it was, with speed, is not. It owns 12 hatch.
Right.
But we're gonna see lately. We've actually seen if he doesn't go for the speed, Jaedong's gonna win this, because sometimes if you don't go for the speed upgrade, they can fight it off just with the sheer number of larvae with the second hatchery. And he actually has. It looks like he's got two drones on gas now, so he probably is going to go for the speed, and go for Zerglings instead. So we're going to see, maybe Jaedong might actually get a build order loss for once, and it might actually go to Game 3.
I mean, again, I would be really surprised if this went to Game 3, and we have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Nothing spoiled this. I have been assuming, and saying since the beginning, even talking to Moletrap here, that whatever, ZerO's done. I mean, and ZerO, I think, even mentioned, I heard somewhere, that he would practice against Jaedong and then just get owned every time he practiced against him. So, but obviously the more you play against a player and the more you watch replays, technically speaking, I guess the better you would be technically against them. Obviously they are in cross positions. Now this works very well for Jaedong. As you can see, he is able to get his lings out. So the disadvantage here is Jaedong is not going to get speed before ZerO does. ZerO will be getting speed momentarily here. And if he can keep reinforcing these lings, use the speed to his advantage, and micro like a raging Viking beast, he might be able to take this out. And if he can get this hatchery down, that's huge. Usually when you see Zerg players come in like this, they don't get down the hatchery, but there is a lot of health going down the hatchery right now. It's at about two-thirds health right now. And I think this is key, and I think this is what a lot of players miss, especially against a player like Jaedong. Jaedong's going to micro his lings around you all day. You have to find a way to get that hatchery, because Jaedong's going to be able to reinforce those lings constantly, and I don't feel it's going to happen. I think ZerO might retreat at this point, although he is going to get speed momentarily, so we might see Jaedong looks like he's going to try to push ZerO back. So ZerO unable to get off what he needed to, and I think at this point Jaedong's economy is going to kick in.
Yeah, I didn't consider it was such a big map. They both got the speed upgrade now, but it was such a big map. It took too long for Zerglings to get there, and now Jaedong with the production advantage, with 2 hatcheries instead of 1, is just going to be able to come right back and put ZerO on the defensive. ZerO's trying to defend his ramp. They've got about equal Zerglings. Reinforcements coming in for Jaedong, slower supply route, but whoa, Jaedong Zerglings magically destroyed.
How does he do it?
Way more than ZerO's, and now ZerO is just way on the defensive. He's trying to desperately put down a colony. He's having to move his drones around and stop mining time, and no, Jaedong's going to get in there and kill off the... what, ZerO? Okay, he's going to defend that part at least. But either way, he's just way behind at this point. Although Jaedong, there's more Zerglings streaming in.
I don't care if Jaedong plays with 1 hand right now. He could play with just his mouse hand, and I think he could still win the game at this point. I'm not saying ZerO sucks. ZerO is phenomenal, just not against Zerg. He is an extremely creative player, and I'm ashamed, but. Well, okay, maybe he... Well, I think he's going to fend this off, but I feel like Jaedong just has the economy. Jaedong's not going to let him get an expansion, and so we're talking about a 1 base versus a 2 base here. Jaedong is now getting his mining up. Obviously, there will be the transition where Jaedong has to switch from making Zerglings to making drones, which could provide ZerO some time. ZerO does have the Mutalisk up. Just 1's not going to do a ton of damage, but he is going to be able to try to kind of take out the Lings. So certainly, I guess I can't. I'll be honest. I don't see how ZerO can win this as well as he's doing.
Well, Jaedong didn't do as much damage with that attack earlier as he expected.